Greetings guys, a video for you guys not to miss. I feel like it's very important to express yourself. Definitely that's what I'm going to do in this video. There's a lot to talk about and there's going to be parts, well, probably the whole video for you guys not to miss because there's a lot to say. You know, it's going to delve into regarding the current process of the game, you know, how I'm feeling, the community's feeling, and obviously it's very important for you guys to share your thoughts as well. And I think we should implement this from time to time because it's very important, you know, because there's still a lot of people, you know, a bit skeptical about the game. But yeah, there's a lot to talk about. So guys, sit back, relax, grab yourself some popcorn or whatever you got local near you right now, because there's a lot to talk about. Let's delve into it, man. So we're going to start off the video with the current state from my perspective. And as I would say, the game Undisputed is still being heavily criticized by a lot of people. I do believe some have come back because they've seen improvements in terms of the recent updates, but it's still a lot. And what I'm going to say is a lot of people are currently doing right now is attacking a lot of individuals, including myself, that are staying with the game, enjoying the game, because they don't enjoy it. And these are the things that we need to speak about, because being a content creator, you can be put off from a lot of things. As I said, you know, a couple of videos ago, a couple of months ago, when I was doing my previous videos, there was a time where I did get manipulated to think, you know what, I need to listen to these people. I need to get rid of this game. You know, listen to the ones that are criticizing the game, knowing that I had to think for myself in the end, which I did. And I still obviously had belief in the Undisputed, which I do current. And in terms of the recent updates, I've been, I wouldn't say happy, I've been satisfied. Definitely satisfied to the point where I am enjoying matches. I'm also in current tournaments as well, which has brought a more enjoyable experience within the game. And that's my process right now. But referring back to what I was saying, there is a lot of people out there, you know, still heavily criticizing the game. And what's happening is, for people like myself, as I think I did mention this, you know, when we are expressing, doing content around the Undisputed, you know, we're getting backlash for it heavily as well. And I don't feel any type of way, because I'm still going to cover content around the Undisputed regardless of what anybody says. And it's going to stay like that. So the guys that I keep doing it to, other content creators and myself, I only can speak for myself, and I can honestly say it's pretty much pointless trying to tell me to get off a game and stuff like that. Because within this video, I really don't want to go to them extents where I'm going back and forth with people. I respect people's opinions, of course, and it's always going to be like that because I'm a respectful person. My apologies. I'm a respectful person, and I'm not going to obviously argue with people. As I do content, and I focus on the Undisputed. A lot of other things are coming pretty much soon, but current, I'm solely focusing on Undisputed because I'm enjoying the game again. And just to stem off that, I wanted to let you guys know that I am in for the criticism. Of course, I'm more than willing to discuss with people with positive criticism. But when it comes to being disrespectful and stuff down that line, I'm just going to do one thing, and that's obviously delete. Because one thing I've realized is the Undisputed community is a brilliant community overall. Hands down, I have met the most amazing people. I'm still in the process of, you know, doing collaborations with people. There's just so much people that I've met, people that have supported me till this day, you know, amazing the community. But then you got the other end that are just, you know, disrespectful. And obviously I'm not here to be stating name. I'm not going to do that. I'm not here to be doing any of that. I am just speaking the real, because one thing I've realized is the content creators that have built names for themselves, are always getting heavily criticized. And I'm in that process now, and I'm just giving an update regards to how I feel about it. And just to be honest, I wouldn't sign up for this if I knew that this wasn't going to happen. So I knew it was going to happen. So now that it is happening, I don't mind, honestly, because I know as I keep growing, because I'm not going anywhere, no other no other, people that dislike the game are going to put me down in terms of how I feel about the game. None of them things are going to happen. So as I always say, I'm here to stay, and that's not going to change. One thing I was going to do is to shout out to some content creators that I've been following for a while, and I've been in contact with them. The guys that show nothing but love, and obviously I do the same back. With the likes of JMMA, definitely one I need to shout out for sure. From day, it's been nothing but love. I appreciate that guy, man. He's really down to earth guy, and very respectful as well. And his content's fantastic. Also, my boy Mega, he's another one to shout out as well. Man, it's crazy. We got a lot more installed in terms of what's going to be happening in the future. The whole team in Undisputed Fighting Club, that's the tournament that we host from time to time. Wow, every Sunday, we get active, man. Shouts out to the whole team. There's so many new people coming in. Guys, head over there, man, if you really want to get active and to feel like you are in a positive community, and definitely head over there, because they're amazing. 100%. I've been shown nothing but love. And if you really want to feel privileged and loved, then definitely head over there. I'm going to put their information down in the link. Also, Prize as well, Deuce. There's so many people to shout out, some amazing people, man. And there's so much more to obviously say. But as I said, these guys are content creating and holding the Undisputed game, pushing it forward, helping out. Because in realism, I don't really see any other game current, despite the fact that what the state is about Undisputed. As I said, to me, I'm happy to be playing it again. I'm not overall happy regarding the game itself, like it's the best. I'm not saying that. But in terms of what we have now, you got to give it to Undisputed. From a boxer perspective as well. You got to give it to Undisputed, man. For sure. I know people go with like the UFC and stuff like that, but I'm more with boxing. We haven't had a boxing game for over a decade, and I feel like it's needed. And a lot of people are still with this game. So I'm definitely going to be that person within the game. No matter where it goes, as I said, I'm mainly still covering the game because I've built a beautiful community, man. As you can see, I've named a list of people, and there's so much more. So shouts out to you guys, man. One thing I've realized as well that I've been wanting to say for a while ago, within the Undisputed game, people adapt to different updates. This current update is not the best version of myself, so you can kind of see where I'm coming from. My best version was when they actually brought the full game out, and I know there was a lot of spammers and stuff like that, but the hit detection was really the pinnacle for me. It's improved, of course, it has improved, but it's not on how it used to be, and that was my very first version. You guys let me know what version you guys was your best, because a lot of people, what I'm trying to say is you can't really say that, it's difficult, because you can and you cannot. Because I know, as I said, when that version come out, I was pretty much unstoppable. I was a much better player than I was then. So what I'm trying to say is the current state of yourself regarding the game, you can't really go off that anymore, because the Undisputed has had different versions to the game. A lot of people have adapted to the current Undisputed state of the game at the moment, but there's some that haven't, which has led them to not play the game no more, which is sad. You know, for myself, I would say, you know, I'm about 80%. You know, prior to that, I would have said I'm about 100%, you know, because that's when I really thought that this was the best boxing game ever, despite the spammers and all them things there, because I could handle them. Like, I didn't mind. I could handle them. I just felt like the hit detection was so on point, to the point, and you stamming. I know, like, guys were probably thinking, you know, it's a bit, you know, unrealistic that your stamina is just too high and blah, but we all gonna get complaints. We're always gonna get complaints. There's never gonna be a boxing game that's gonna be perfect. But as I was saying, that was my best version. You know, let me know what version that you guys adapt pretty well to, because I was speaking to the team the other day, and it was a really good one to speak about, because a lot of people adapt to different versions. So the conclusion of this is, don't be too hard on yourself if your performance has dropped or you think you're not good at the game no more. It's just about adaptation to different versions. Fortunately, I have, but unfortunately, it's not the best version of me. I wanted to clear something quickly as well, because there's a few people obviously in the comments as well saying, you know, that I must be continuing the game because the Undisputed are, I don't like, paying you and stuff. Like, listen, I've been in contact with Undisputed and it's not gone any further than that. And I'm not going to disclose anything right now. It's nothing to do with money. To me, I don't really care about the money. If it comes, or I don't know, anything down the line, I'm all in it. It's a bonus. Why not? But I've not been paid to do anything. I cover this game. Guys, come on. You think about the videos I deliver, I can literally focus on it. I grew up playing many games. Call of Duty was actually the game that really stood out to me. You know, I'm talking about Modern Warfare 2. Just to go a bit off topic, that was my, you know, go-to goal, where I was expressing myself with other players, you know, and it all stems from there. So what I'm trying to say is, like, I could be covering games like that, which have bigger platforms, a bigger community, etc. But I chose Undisputed, and there's obviously a few reasons why. Because number one, I am a boxer. Let me just clarify that. And I can get a lot of backing for this easily. But are we going to do that right now? No, I'm not. I don't need to do that. What I'm showing you guys now is the content creating version of myself, not showing off a gallery or anything like that. I'm not here for that. And also, I love boxing. And that's the reason why I am covering the Undisputed. So I just thought I'd mention that, because it's just very important, you know, because I'm not being paid anything. I don't need a payment from the Undisputed or anything like that. I cover their game, and that's from my own personal, you know, experience. And yeah, just nothing else to say besides that. I just wanted to clear that up. So yeah, another thing to obviously mention is the current state of the game itself. You know, as a whole, you know, the updates have been pretty much consistent. We've had a few within the last a month or two, which is good. So we got to kind of like analyze this as a really good thing, a positive thing, because this is what we've been asking for, and then they've delivered it. And moving onwards, I feel like the game should obviously bring more improvements. They shouldn't slow down at any point. You know, at least try get an update every single month or two, just to keep the game more relevant and attract more people. Because I realized that, you know, I've done a bit of research, a lot, I don't mean like a major, but a lot of people have come back and they've enjoyed it. in terms of the current update at the moment. A lot of people still haven't, but it is what it is. And yeah, just a couple of things. So the few majors I would say is, to me, that the last update, just I'm just being honest, it didn't do much at all. I didn't see any difference. A lot of people said that it was worse in terms of the tracking. I feel like the tracking's being the same. One thing I've realized is that one of the main issues is the desync. The desync, you see, when you have a bad connection, that's it. Like, it's game over, and it's like it's easy to get knocked out as well. Something needs to be tweaked there. Not with the I think the D6's just always going to be there. Unless they bring out Undisputed 2, we must accept this now. And I feel like when you accept things more, you more or less will be more content with the actual situation, instead of being patient and thinking that they're going to change it. And you're just going to get yourself amped up, and it's just not worth it. So I've adapted to that. I feel like the desync is a massive issue at the moment. As I said, the red bar, as soon as you see that, it's game over. And head movement is becoming a problem as well, because a lot of people are power punching quite a lot. I don't find a problem with the power punching. However, I think if the head movement was a bit better, where you can dodge the power punches, because let's be honest, the reacting time on this is pretty good, but for some reason it just catches you. And that's obviously one of the downfalls of Undisputed. So hopefully these things can get fixed, you know, and just slowly just tweak little things, man. The tracking could be improved a little bit more. You know, that the game's going in a really good direction, and this is just my opinion. As I said, I've been enjoying it again, but besides the things that I've just mentioned, them things need to be fixed in order to get a much better experience. Well, let me know down in the comments, you know, the majors. Please don't give me a hole, because it's going to be unrealistic in terms of what we know. The game needs a lot of fixes, but just give me like 2 or 3 that you think that really needs, you know, well, needs to be in the next update. And what we need to understand is that the Undisputed, you know, the dev team are still trying to find themselves. We cannot deny the fact that they have tried to make, you know, changes. I know from previously that a lot of people were just not happy, and they're still not happy now. Totally understandable. And there's obviously people that are patient. There's obviously people that have paid a lot of money and not being happy about it. But we must take into consideration that not everything's perfect. I think, you know what it is? I think that because Undisputed are more or less a small studio, and what I mean by that is that they're pretty much new to a lot of people. But in realism, they're not really a small studio, because they're doing big things. They are definitely doing big things, because they've got recognition from a lot of boxers and stuff like that. So they are growing. So from their perspective, they're going to see it as that. But to us, it's going to be different. So I'm just giving you the realism right now. And we got to take these things into consideration. So referring to that, we got to change our approach on the things that we are asking for. Because I just feel like if we continue to be negative, not myself, I'm just more or less talking about the people that still hate the game. If you change your perspective and come together in forums and stuff like that, we can obviously ask for more things. And I'm not saying that because, you know, there's negative stuff that's being said, the Undisputed shouldn't reply. But this could be the reasons why they're, you know, they have to answer to so much people that are basically tearing the actual studio apart. And you got to think about it as well. Even though it's not going to happen, say for example, if the Undisputed disappeared because what people were doing, you know, boycotting the game basically, you know, literally nobody was playing it. What would we have? Be for real. What would we have? Because I'm being honest here. Finite. One of my favorite boxing games, of course, at that time. But we can't say that right now. You know, we're on next gen consoles. Everything's different. Everything's enhanced. So when we're playing games like Fight Night in today's day, and I'm not disrespecting Fight Night because I grew up on Fight Nights as well. It's, you know, there needs to be a change. So if people are still saying Fight Night is the greatest boxing game of all time, that's fine. But I'm going to disagree with that. And I'm not saying the Undisputed is the best boxing game. I'm not saying that neither. But what I'm trying to say is we need something up to date. So that's the reason why I'm saying if the Undisputed is gone, what do we have? Because not everybody's going to play UFC. And with the UFC side of things, a lot of people are not happy with the UFC. And we're not going to delve into that because, as I said, we're kind of strictly talking about boxing here. So it's food for thought. We got to think about it, guys. You know, because there still is a lot of people that still play the Undisputed, and it's playable. It's definitely playable at the moment. So what I'm trying to say is, as an overall conclusion, we must get together as a community and keep doing things in the right way. It's very important. If we keep hammering this game down to the point where, you know, they're not going to respond, and because they don't really have to respond. I know a lot of people still say, oh, they've taken it. You have to accept it. They've taken it. You know, I'm not going to say that they don't care, but in realism, if you keep complaining, they've won. You know what I mean? You've got to think about it like that. Whereas your response to change that should be, you know what? You've got my money. I'm not spending a penny on you again. Simple. Because they are bringing out DLCs and stuff like that. And the ones that are complaining are still buying the DLCs. You got to think about it, guys. Honestly, just change your approach. This is all I'm saying. As a conclusion, I felt fantastic covering this video. I just feel like it was something different. Things that I need to get off my chest, of course. And just to bring some realism to you guys. And I hope you did enjoy this video because I really want to hear your thoughts. I'm just being realistic here. And I really appreciate you guys, man. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, to know that, you know, one of my dream come trues to actually get paid off a platform of some work that I've done myself is really amazing. Obviously, I do a lot of other things on the side and I'll introduce that down the line. But it's really good to know that you guys have put me in this position, and the real ones know that I always appreciate you guys. I always try to do giveaways and stuff like that. There's really plenty more to come. There's lots more to come, and I'm here for the long run. I ain't going nowhere. Ain't no other content creator or any individual is gonna make me feel some type of way, whereas I'm disappearing. I'm not that type. I know what I've signed up for. I know what I deliver, and do expect different types of videos as well, because I really want to bring more to the channel. I don't want to be this individual that's solely focusing on the Undisputed. As I said, I got a lot of more to give, guys, and as long as you guys are continuing to support, you know, my end goal is to be a, you know, in a way, like a unique content creator, you know, that's built from the ground up, which I'm currently in the process now. And at the moment, I'm seeing it happening. There's just so much things to obviously deliver. And I was even thinking, like, you know, like games like GTA, I know it's been delayed. Like, I want some of that stuff on this channel, because I know with the quality that I offer, it will be an excellent source. And I know a lot of you guys will be interested in that, but I'm going to save that for another video. As I always say, guys, I appreciate you all. Peace.